Hello guys, this is Kirill from Belarus and I'm back with another analysis and reaction video for an entry from the Eurovision 2024. And today it's a very exciting day because we can finally take a look at the country which is sort of debuting in the Eurovision Song Contest, because their last participation was 31 years ago, and it's Luxembourg. It is really mind-blowing for me that the country which won the contest, I believe, 5 times, never took part together with countries like Romania, Russia or Serbia or Moldova, Ukraine. So they actually have never faced this kind of tough competition which we had in the noughties or in the 2010s and so on. So they didn't really even compete against big players of today. So this time Luxembourg decided to even organize an open selection, which was called Luxembourg Song Contest. So many artists could submit their songs, or at least, themselves, so that a match and song will be picked for them. So this internal competition was produced by Tali Goregant, who is the Israeli music producer and who was also responsible as an executive producer for Eurovision Song Contest 2019, which took place in Tel Aviv.
The Eurovision Song Contest 2019!
And this we could really feel when we were listening to the entries of the selection and watching the selection itself. You could really not even guess that this was the first time for Luxembourg to host this kind of selection in our modern era. I have watched that selection. My personal favorite was Crick with Drowning in the Rain. I thought it was a very beautiful song written by Elsa Solsik or Elsie Bay. And she even managed to win the televote in the competition, but the juries have definitely preferred the song of Tali. I can understand why. It was quite a powerful performance. I liked that. I was maybe not a huge fan of the song. I was also slightly concerned by the fact that, the executive producer is Israeli, the winner is also Israeli. So Tali, who is not Tali Goregant, but Tali Goregant, the winner of the selection, she actually is born in Israel. She lived in Luxembourg also for 10 years, but she lived sort of everywhere around the globe. She lived in South America, now she lives in New York. She still has very tight connections with Israel. She speaks Hebrew fluently. And when she won the Luxembourg Song Contest, she even said she dedicates her win, the song Fighter, to her brother who is fighting currently in Israel. But let's just put politics aside. Let's just focus on the song. I have seen that a revamped music video has been released just some weeks ago. So I'm very excited to take a look at it, because I haven't watched any other performance or music video of the song apart from the one which I saw in the Luxembourg National Final. So I'm very excited, and I hope she can do well in Eurovision and bring Luxembourg for the first time to the Eurovision final from the semifinals. Well, and before we jump into this reaction, did you actually know that one of the main composers of the song is the one who also composed Soldi for Mahmoud? So yeah, taking into account that Soldi actually managed to finish second in the final of Eurovision, who knows, maybe Fighter can also do really well. Let's see.
T'as plus 20 ans, t'as plus le temps de faire l'enfant, de faire que la fête, t'as plus d'argent.
I have to say I liked her outfit more in the Luxembourgish selection. I think she looked really cool, maybe a little bit like Noah Kirel last year, so it was a really nice outfit. With this kind of look, I'm not 100% sure that I'm on board it, but maybe I just have to get used to it.
Pas d'élan, tu vas vraiment droit vers la défaite. Et j'entends loin, loin, loin cette petite voix chante de sirène qui me dit mais viens, vas-y prends ma main. Allez, je t'emmène.
I think it is really benefiting to the song that it is in French. We don't really hear so many songs in French in Eurovision, apart from the French ones, of course. And I think it really gives something more special to it, because the song itself appeared to me, at least in the national selection, slightly generic, but this French vibe to it, it definitely gives some oomph, something more special to it. So yeah, that's really good idea. this part is really beautiful, how it's, building up towards the chorus. It's really getting you intrigued. I think it is really cleverly composed song.
Holding your hand and love around, you know you're a fighter. Et j'entends loin, loin, loin cette petite voix qui me répète.
I definitely feel some slight changes in the instrumental of the song. I think now it sounds more harmonized. I think the initial version sounded slightly more like a demo version. It actually misses now a little bit of the energy which was in the initial version. I'm not sure why, but maybe it's just because it's not a live performance, but the pre-recorded vocal. So yeah, let's just continue and see how it will develop.
Non mais tu vas où? J'avoue, je sais pas, je veux plus rien à faire, je finirai complètement folle et voilà. T'as pas le droit de rester.
Also, some interesting electronic sounds were added to this part. I think it really sounds good. I'm not really seeing huge differences comparing to the first version. I just think they polished it a little bit so that it sounds better for Eurovision Song Contest.
Comme ça, faut faire des choix. T'as quoi dans la tête? Et j'entends loin, loin, loin cette petite voix chante de sirène qui me dit mais viens.
Well, the music video is, of course, not a very stunning one, but actually from Luxembourg, where the budget for Eurovision is definitely slightly smaller than in countries like Sweden or UK, I think that's okay. And in Eurovision Song Contest, in the end of the day, no one will see those music videos. They will only see the live performances, and we have already seen in the Luxembourg Song Contest that Tali is a good performer.
Va vers ton destin, faut pas que tu freines.
I actually liked some of those kind of Egyptian moves which the dancers were doing before the chorus. I thought it looked quite cool because the song, sounds southern, sounds slightly, Mediterranean or maybe even Oriental inspired. And I think this Egyptian touch to it, it's also something what could make it more unique. I'm not sure how much they will integrate it into the live performance on Malmö stage, but I think it could be quite a nice concept to go for.
Et j'entends loin, loin, loin cette petite voix qui me répète. Non mais tu vas où? J'avoue, je sais pas, je veux plus rien à faire, je finirai complètement folle et voilà. Hear the sound of your dreams, you are so near, they are so near.
Okay, so now they have also added this part in English. I believe it was initially also in French. But yeah, why not? I think it's always nice to add some part in English so that the audience can understand the message a little bit, can grasp what the song is actually about, and the rest, and you can just fill up with your own thoughts.
Look around, hear the sound of your dreams, none of your fears, and just open up your heart. Come, I will never let you down, I know you're a fighter. J'entends loin, loin, loin.
Interesting that they decided to slow down the tempo in this part. I think the song is just really very challenging. Like it is so fast. There are so many changes in the melody itself. And I was really seeing in that live performance that Tali was slightly struggling, but it was absolutely understandable because it is so complicated. So by doing this in a slow tempo, they are giving her a little bit more time to, breathe in and just have enough power to really deliver this.
Cette petite voix qui me répète, non mais tu vas où? Come, I will never let you down, I know you're a fighter. Holding your hand and love around, you know you're a fighter. Et cette fois.
Yeah, the last chorus is of course now super powerful. I like this energy. I still think that this song lacks something a little bit what many other good pops have this year or had in the past. But as a first enter of Luxembourg since more than 30 years, I think it's a really great one.
Elle s'en va, elle revient dans ma tête, non mais tu vas où? J'avoue, je sais pas, je veux plus rien à faire, je finirai complètement folle et voilà. Et voilà.
Yeah, the song finishes on this really beautiful note. I have to say this part after chorus, the sort of after chorus bridge, I'm not a huge fan of, but this ending was super beautiful. what a nice summer track from Luxembourg this year. So the song is actually about being a fighter in life, so fighting towards your goals, fighting for your place in life, fighting for your happiness, and just being nice to the people around you in any case. And yeah, so not really much to add. So understandably taking into account the comments of the singer after the Luxembourg Song Contest and also her background, some people might assume that this might have some political message related to the current war between Israel and Palestine, but I think we should not over-politicize this. This is just a nice, upbeat summer track, and I'm pretty sure that the composers, while writing the song, didn't have anything like that in mind. And now let's take a look at the semifinal draw. So as you can see on your screen, Luxembourg will take part in the first semifinal and will perform last, so 15th. That's a really huge privilege which was given to Luxembourg by the producers of the contest. Of course, the song is also, kind of a good finisher, and even in Luxembourg Song Contest, it was also performed last. So I think this is not only purely based on the fact that they want Luxembourg to qualify and they want to give them, the best spot to do so, but I think from general show perspective, it's just, nice ending of the show. And Luxembourg will perform after the songs from Azerbaijan, Australia and Portugal. Azerbaijan and Australia I have already reacted to. I think Australia is actually playing kind of on a similar field. They are both, very positive, nice, upbeat tracks, while Azerbaijan brought something else. I'm not really sure what kind of entry Portugal has brought this year. I haven't heard it so far, but I have heard that this is something more slow. So I think based on this contrast, Luxembourg might stand out. But how would the televoters appreciate entry from Luxembourg? No one can really know, because if we take a look at the last 15 years participation of Luxembourg in Eurovision semifinals, you can definitely see they never took part. So we can hardly say how well they could be rated. Even at those times when Luxembourg was still taking part in the contest, there was no televote. It was just purely jury-based voting. So we have no experience of how well Luxembourg would be treated by the televoters. But now let's take a look at how the bookmakers are ranking Luxembourg at the moment. While Luxembourg is ranked only 32nd in the odds to win the contest, so basically below Malta, Azerbaijan, Poland, Germany, but above Albania, Czechia, Portugal, they are still ranked 5th in the odds to qualify to the final from the first semifinal. So I think based on this amazing running draw number which Luxembourg got, they are now ranked only below Finland, Lithuania, Ukraine and Croatia, but above Cyprus, Poland, Serbia, Slovenia and Portugal. So far it looks really good for Luxembourg. For them it would be a huge success to just qualify to the final, after this long absence without having, an established fan base as some other countries have in the contest. I think if Luxembourg manages to qualify, this would be amazing. And now let's think about what kind of stage Luxembourg can bring. So basically we have already seen their live performance in the Luxembourg Song Contest. And we also saw the official music video, and I have to say the visuals in both of them were slightly different. So the one in the Luxembourg Song Contest was maybe a bit more like Noah Kiral's Unicorn last year from Israel. While in their official music video, they decided to go for some a bit less, aggressive and fierce looks, but for something a bit more, in my opinion, generic. But also she kind of looks now a bit like if she would be on stage of Czechia last year. Well, what we can say for sure is that Tali will not be alone on stage. She will most probably be accompanied by 5 dancers. And I think it will be a very energetic performance full of amazing dancing routines. So really looking forward. I have to say, for me at this point of time, it's quite hard to predict if Luxembourg will qualify to the final or not, because there are some arguments speaking for Luxembourg and some against. So for example, the fact that Luxembourg is a sort of almost debuting country and also the one closing the show and also having sort of upbeat track. These are definitely the things which are for Luxembourg this year. But on the other hand, this whole background with, Israeli production team might cause them to have some issues with the televote. The fact that the Luxembourg is not a type of a country which televoters ever voted for. Might be also the reason why they would be like, okay, I actually have, my established favorites to vote for. And of course, the fact that generally the Song of Luxembourg is not as strong as many other pop entries this year. So I think that Luxembourg might really struggle, but the running order might really help them. But what do you think? Do you think Luxembourg is a safe qualifier this year, or do you also feel that their debut might be not the most successful one? Just please let me know down below in the comments. I'm really looking forward to hear your opinions, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.